Hello and welcome to Horror Hyperfixations, where I look at horror through a neurodivergent lens. I'm Sam, your neurodivergent host, and today I've got a really exciting episode. Also, I'm on video. If you're watching me on YouTube, hello. If you're not watching me on YouTube and you're listening somewhere else, you can always hop over if you want to, because I was lucky to chat to the cast and creatives of Dean of the Dead's new short film, Go to Hell, which is really fun. I popped a review up on Instagram and TikTok, but Dean said he'd love to come on and chat and talk about his experience making the short, and it was really fun because some of the cast were involved, some of the crew were involved, so it was really lovely to hear their stories about how they worked on it. It's a really fun and interesting conversation. If you're interested in working in indie filmmaking, there's loads of really interesting information there, and just hearing these people talk is just so much fun. I'm going to try not to ramble too much so that we can get straight into enjoying their interview, but we did have a few tech issues. There were some delays, so there may be some little breaks in the audio or in the video. I will do my very best to cut around that. Hopefully we're all good on that front. Gary, who played Robert in the film, he pops in and out. He kept having trouble. We tried to get it fixed, but alas, no. So sadly, we didn't get to talk to Gary very much, but he joined in, he turned up, and that was wonderful. But yeah, hope you enjoy the episode. I hope it whets your appetite to see Go to Hell. As we talk about in the episode, Dean is showing Go to Hell at Rilla Thriller, which is on the 30th and 31st of August. I know this off the top of my head because I'm going to be there and I'm very excited. It's going to be my second year going. A horror film festival in North Wales. Lovely. Love that part of the world. So yeah, keep an eye out to see where else the movie is going to be shown. It's a 27-minute short, so a perfect little movie to watch and have fun with. And hopefully you'll be coming to some more festivals and things as well, so you'll be able to get your grubby little mitts on it and watch it, because it is really fun. And like I say to Dean in the chat, I really think it will play well in festivals. It's fun, it's silly, and I feel like everyone will have a good time, and that will come across in the atmosphere, and the atmosphere of a festival plays a huge part in enjoyment of movies, I think. So before we start, go grab a cuppa, settle down, and enjoy my chat with Dean of the Dead, Kemal Yildirim, Lou Jones, Nathan Carr, and Gary Amos. Hey everyone, I'm so excited today that I'm talking to the cast and creatives of Go to Hell, a new short film made by Dean of the Dead. Hey everyone.
Who?
Hello.
Who is he?
Hey guys.
This is like the biggest chat I've done for the podcast. This is lovely seeing so many faces. And like I said, we're a bit like the Brady Bunch with all these little faces. It's lovely. So I don't know how this will go. This may be incredibly chaotic, but I'm excited to talk to you all.
It's nice to see everyone on here as well, because like I haven't seen Kemal for a while. So
Been
like
a while, hasn't it?
Kamal's here. I haven't seen Lou for a while. Like Lou's here and Gary's here. There's Gary over there.
Oh,
hey,
it's
Nathan.
like a little
There's Nathan down
reunion.
there. It is. Yeah. It is.
Seen everyone's faces in the edit about 1 million times.
Kemal.
Oh, I bet. Oh my God.
Not mine
Think
though.
of everyone.
I just hear you in the background giving directions.
Do better.
Oh hell no. But anyway, yes. Hey.
So super lucky to have a sneaky peek of the film. It is so much fun. It's a really fun movie. Dean,
Awesome.
You are the director and writer. Do you want to tell anyone watching or listening a little bit more about the short? And then we'll introduce everybody and you can tell everyone what you did, what your involvement was.
Yeah, cool. So the short's called Go to Hell. It's my first proper short. I've kind of dipped my toe into filming before. I've done like a few promos and I kind of pieced together like an anthology. I think that was last year. But I wanted to write and direct and produce a short from scratch, like just a complete fresh idea. But just kind of like pepper it with all little bits of my influences, which are all over the place. But and you've seen it, Sam. You can see like things like Beetlejuice, things like Creep Show, things like Inside Number 9, all these things that I love. I was just kind of sitting there thinking, I want to do something and kind of add that kind of world building and all this crazy color and wackiness and the comedy aspect too. So yeah, I guess Go to Hell. It's a 27-minute long short, so it's a long short, and it's a revenge story, and it's got a cool little twist, and everybody in it was fantastic. And yeah, so far so good. Reviews have been good so far.
So weird. Could anyone else hear that? Or
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
It's not like a ghost or something in my headphones. Cool.
Cadaverous black.
It's cadaverous.
Mr.
He's
Black
back.
is haunting us again. It's okay. We can cut that bit out. Does everyone want to say hello, introduce themselves, and let us know what you did on the production?
Want me to go first?
Let's start with you, Gary.
Yeah, there we go.
With me,
Come out.
yeah, so I'm Gary Amos. I play the role of Robert Cummings, the unfortunate soul that gets murdered by his wife and sent to hell and has to go through the trials and tribulations of everything that Dean's warped little mind came up with.
But I think you deserved it. I think you deserve to be murdered. Well, not you, Robert, obviously. But he's a bit of a shit, isn't he? So go on, Kemal.
Young
We have
Kemal?
a bit of delay issues.
So my name's Kemal Yildirim. I am the cinematographer and the editor on the film, and it was such an amazing film to work on.
It was a lot of fun. It was a Laura fan.
Too much fun.
Young Lou?
Hello there. My name is Lou, or Lucifer, as my friends like to call me. I've known Dean for, a hot second. It's been a while. And this small goblin-like creature literally came up to me and went, I have an idea for a short movie and I want you to be in it, and I want you to be Divine Sparks, who is the anti-medium, because she works in doing seances from beyond the grave and doing the parallel of seances, so sending demons up to terrorise rather than sending them down to get away from Earth. So that's a very exciting thing to do.
And I'm Nathan. I'm just the stuntman.
Just.
Nathan,
Well,
actually,
True.
the wannabe stuntman.
Nathan appears in it twice, and so does Nathan's son as well. He's the little boy.
my son's
The little
also
boy
in
in
it.
hell.
It's a family affair.
It's a family
Yeah.
affair. Well, Nathan was like, because Nathan's boy is a little showman, isn't he? He loves it. He absolutely loves it. So we were trying to think of where we could kind of slot a little part in for him. And Nathan was like, maybe it could be in a waiting room, because there's like a reception area at the beginning, like in the waiting room for hell. And he's like, he's a little ginger lad. All gingers go to hell. I was like, poor kid, man.
Dean.
Nathan said it.
That was me. That was him quoting what I said.
Nathan said it. I didn't say it. Nathan said it. And I
Holy
was just
shit.
like, sure, man. But he was fantastic. He was really good, little Riley. He came in and, he loved it. He had a really good time on set. You can talk more about that a bit later, Nate, definitely. Because you spent the time with him afterwards on the way home, and he was saying to you, this is the best thing I've ever done.
Yeah, well, we've watched the film. We've watched it at least 9 times now. Because it's like, I want to see me.
Only 9. Me and Kemal have watched it about fucking 500. No lie.
Yeah, you were
That
editing
edit
it,
was
so you had no
brutal, man.
choice.
The joy of editing and post-production. So,
Well, so it clocked in at 27 minutes. So it's a long short. But most festival submissions, they stay, most 30 minutes and under. Some 50 minutes and under, some 45 minutes and under, but most 30 minutes and under. So I thought 27 minutes is under 30 minutes. There's nothing wrong with that. And it's in my opinion, it's a good 27 minutes. But then there's a couple of festivals like Fright Fest, Celluloid Screams, a couple of others that we've entered that wanted, that their cap is like 20 minutes. Fright Fest's cap was 20 minutes. And, trying to cut 7 minutes off of what I thought was, it told the story perfectly. Oh, it's horrible. I had to kind of give it to Laura, literally, who just went at it with a pair of fucking shears.
But you did it really well, though. Like, watching it back, I'm not, biased or anything, but with certain movies, you can see where it's like, oh, we need to cut this section out to make it smaller, to kind of go out to everybody. And you look at it and go, there should have been something there. Whereas with this film, it doesn't feel like that. Like, we obviously like did everything, and you can remember like, oh, we did all of this and this is the material that was cut, but it makes sense rather than being like, oh god, we've lost all this footage and now none of it makes sense. Like, it's a really clear linear path on it.
I think it's different when you're so attached to it. It's difficult, isn't it? Because you're just like, especially when you're attached to the source material. But just real quick, I'm going to name drop here because it's a fun little story. But I sent it to Spider One, who plays in the band Power Man 5000. I made a hot sauce for him ages ago. He makes a lot of films. He's Rob Zombie's brother, which is fucking amazing. And we just kind of struck up a little bit of friendship over like the hot sauce thing. Hot sauce, it's so weird. Hot sauce has got me into some really weird places. So when we finished the film, I thought I'm going to send it to him and see what he thinks. Because he loves filmmaking as well, you know, makes a lot of his own stuff. And he got back to me and he said, "Oh, dude, it's great. You know," he was like, "Your lead's fantastic." He said, "Cinematography's great." He said, "The whole thing, you know, as a package, the story's good." And then I told him about the 20-minute cut, and he kind of said exactly what you just said, Lou. You know, like you can chop all these things out, and then you'll come back to it. You know, give it a bit of a rest, come back to it, and you won't even miss them. You know, you know, it's like they were never there in the first place, kind of thing. And he's right. When I watch the 20-minute cut now, I forget what's been cut because it just kind of flows well. Does that make sense?
I was going to say, I remember you sending me the little rough edit that you did from day one of filming, and that was already like 12 minutes long. And I was like, "There's no way you're going to make a short here," because that's literally.
I got a bit snappy happy. And I was like, I don't want to lose anything. If I had it my way, the short film would be 3 hours long.
Well, that's the beauty. If you do a physical release, which I think you should, you can put the festival cut, the Fright Fest cut. You can put all the different versions on there, and we can see all those different things, because I think that'd be really good. Because like, talking about, you mentioned hot sauce then, I think a lot of people think of you as the hot sauce guy, and as I've said to you, my daughter calls you Dean the cool hot sauce guy.
Chili sauce salad, my friend. Yeah, man.
Exactly. Well, that's how I met you, like at God knows what convention a million years ago. So whenever I go to horror cons or comic cons, there you are, being a cheeky chappy, slinging hot sauce at people. So like, I associate you with hot sauce, but then like you've got this whole like burgeoning empire that seems to be growing very rapidly, which is very impressive. So well done, you, sir. How did movies come into it? Because obviously you're a movie fan. You can see that from your influences in like hot sauce names and your branding. Like you've got action figures, comics. It's all very heavily comic book horror influenced. And you mentioned earlier you've done a couple of like little promo things. What was it that made you go, actually, I can do this, I can make a film? Because I'm always in awe of anyone who can go from being, I'd love to make a film, to actually taking that step and doing it.
Yeah, I guess so. I come from like a music. I've always been a creative person, like always throughout my whole life. I come from like a creative family, and my job when I left school was music for like 25 years. So my background's in music. And, you know, with that comes videos, filming, you know, anything creative, basically, like merchandising for your band, all that kind of stuff, you know, making videos. So I've always been interested in that world, always loved horror films. Like that's always been like top of the tree of my passions for me. The whole kind of Dean of the Dead thing came around. I was in a band. I was in a sign band. We were doing really, really well, and then the band sort of it ceased to exist. It kind of imploded, and I needed something creative to do. So it weirdly became hot sauce. I don't know why. Well, I went to a chili festival and I was really kind of like taken back by all like the creativity and stuff, you know, like all the label designs and just all this. And I was like, I could do something really cool, you know, and interject the horror, you know, my passion for horror into this. And then, you know, as the kind of company and the brand got bigger and bigger and I kind of got more well known on that circuit, I was like, why don't I start kind of delving into some of my creative side of things that I want to do? And then rather it just being a hot sauce brand, it can be like a sort of a universe, you know, like a lifestyle brand that kind of has merch and hot sauces, and now we do beers and we do this and we do that. So that's kind of the idea, you know. I've got the idea of a graphic novel to kind of expand on the Squad Goals characters. I'm recording some music. I'm going back into the music world, and I've got some really good ideas for that as well. So yeah, it's just kind of growing all the time. But filming was kind of the first stop for me. I was just like, I have to scratch that itch, because I made a couple of promos. I fucking had so much fun. I was just like, I just want to do it again and again and again and again. So yeah, it just felt natural, and yeah, it was great.
Amazing. Like it is really impressive that you've had this idea and you've gone and done it, because as I mentioned to you all earlier, I'm a little ADHD gremlin, and just I have so many ideas, and being able to actually put pen to paper and do something is so hard. So like anyone who actually sees something through to completion, I'm always just so impressed with. And just filmmaking in general is bloody hard, so like well done everyone involved. Like it's really, really impressive, and you've made something really fun as well. And I think the spirit of the short really embodies you, Dean. Like if anyone's ever met Dean at a festival,
Nutcase.
Yeah, absolute nutcase. Clearly obsessed with horror and 80s movies and stuff, but it feels like you, and even though you're not in it, you can hear your voice, you can hear your vibe. It's a very Dean of the Dead. I know that sounds really odd thing to say, but it feels
no,
like
that's
a Dean
really
of the
cool.
Dead production, and it fits in, even though like hot sauce and comics don't seem to match, or hot sauce and movies don't seem to match, like it all matches up.
I mean, that's a huge compliment, to be fair. It is a massive compliment. Because I think that's anyone that's kind of making art, they, you know, if somebody's like, you've got your own style, that's a fucking huge compliment, you know. Is if I made something and it's like, oh, that's the same sort of style as this or the same sort of style as that, whereas a lot of comments have been, it's your style, I can totally see it's come from your universe. So it's like amazing.
It's got your sense of humour, it's got your vibe, it's got your kind of like, even just like down to the cinematography and the lighting and stuff, very much the Dean of the Dead colour palette, and it just feels authentically you.
Well, I think that's where kind of, I mean, like I mean, you know, you say about filmmaking being hard. It is hard, but it's also, I think the fun outweighs any of that. And one of the most important things that I found after having an idea, then writing a script was you have to have a really good fucking team. Like that's so important, and something that I've learned along the way. And, you know, like meeting Kemal, and we'll let Kemal chime in, but having worked with different people, and then, you know, somebody mentioned Kemal to me and said, oh, you should check this dude out, you know, he's really nice. And then Kemal worked with a friend of mine, Dan was like, yeah, Kemal's sound. And I was just like, I need to check this Kemal guy out. So I did, and we worked on this project as the first project, and literally from the first shoot I was like, he's the guy, man. He's, you know, really laid back but great, you know, get stuck in, and we love him. Environments that we worked in were, you could not have fun, to be fair. Like it was, I mean, especially the first night when we shot at Tully's, and we'll pass it over to Gary, because you can talk about your experience in this, but this was kind of like the first. So basically I used, this is kind of how I do it with because obviously it's the first thing I'd ever written, pieced together properly. So, you know, I obviously have to sort of find out what my process is. So my process obviously starts with the idea. Then from the idea, I start thinking, who would I use? Who does this character remind me of? Who would be good for this? And then I kind of think about the location, and then I start scripting it around the location, because I can picture the visuals. So then I start sort of piecing it together that way and fleshing it out, and yeah, where am I going with this? What was the question?
I can't remember myself.
Oh, sorry, hang on. Right, so basically, I remember. I was going to hand it over to Gary, but actually he's fled. He'll be back. But yeah, so basically, you know, when I was coming up with the ideas, I was like, because this is where the hot sauce has got me in some really weird fucking places. I'd been doing a lot of merchandise for Screen Parks, so Tully's, Dr. Fright, Sphere at Avon Valley, House of Frankenstein, Passage del Terra, Scream Factory, probably some more dotted around, Walsall Scare Maze, Nathan. Yeah, man, sorry, dude. That's where Nathan works. so I was kind of, had a good contact with all these screen parks, and it fitted really well with the Dean of the Dead brand as well. So then my contacts through that, I just kind of approached him and said, I've got this really crazy harebrained idea. I want to make a short. I basically just put the feelers out and asked a few people if we could use the screen parks, expecting everyone to go, no. And everyone said yes, which is, I was like, what? And then Tully's was the one that I was really shooting for, because obviously, like, anyone that's been to Tully's knows like how much production goes into their sets, and it's an amazing place. And they were so accommodating. Honestly, they were just like, yeah, no worries, just go down, help yourself. They didn't have anyone on site escorting us around. They just completely trusted us, and they were brilliant, honestly. And we got to, go in the mazes and just set the lights up and film, and find an area that we wanted to use. It's fucking nuts. But the first night when we filmed there, the park was open. So this is why we kind of split the shoot up. So the first part of the shoot was in October, and then we picked up the rest of the shoot at the beginning of the year, because that's when everyone's time a little bit more free. But I had to get in there in October because I really wanted to use the park when it was alive. You had all the customers, all the punters, so you would have in that scene where Gary's character's running around and stuff. So the park was open that night, and all the people that you see in there are they're there for a night out, and you've got all us lot running around with a camera and fucking, it was crazy. But it was so much fun. No one really kind of said too much, apart from so one guy kicked Gary up the arse as he ran past and called him Harry Potter. That was about it. But other than that, like, everyone was just, I think it's just weird. We just kind of blended into the chaos that was happening in the environment, and we got everything that we needed. It was sick. It was so good.
It's really
so
cool,
good.
I did wonder how you managed to have so many extras in that scene. You just filmed when it was open, which is genius.
Well, so literally, we had a word with the guy. There's a guy called Stephen Candy. He's the on-site photographer. We had a word with him, and he spoke to the cast that were like this part of the street theatre that night, and said these guys are doing this. Gave them a heads up, and just says, because they all, a lot of those actors, scare actors, as Lou and Nathan will tell you, think on their feet. There's just like, someone approaches you with a scenario. Boom, you kind of get into character, or you're already in character, but you just kind of deliver a line. So that's what we were doing. We was approaching the street theatre. They were already kind of briefed on it. So we just said to them, right, this character, Gary, or Gary's character, he's in hell. Welcome him to hell. So do what your character would do and welcome him into hell. So they were all kind of acting it out, and, like, welcome to hell, and welcome, doing these, like, the clowns. We've got some clowns in there and all these fucking crazy characters. But yeah, it translated really well. It looked really good. And yeah, it was a lot of fun.
It's really
I was going to
cool,
pass you over to Gary, but he's disappeared.
I know the signal. I don't
Kemal.
know what's happening with the signal, but we'll carry on. We've still got lovely people here, haven't we?
We do.
The skate parks is so lucky to use those. Obviously, you do a lot of, like, visiting skate parks and stuff yourself anyway, and you do your skate park awards and things, so you've obviously met all of these people. So just being able to go, hey, can we film here? So handy. You didn't have to make sets. You didn't have to, like, you had everything there. And
I mean, the production value looked huge because of it. That's the thing, like, because, Kemal shot it in 6K, and then it was edited in 4K, and, whatever that, wonderful piece of equipment is pointing at is basically, it's going to pick up everything that's going on in that environment. And, we just had some really sick environments to play with. It was incredible.
It looks really, really good. And, like, that, to me,
Kemal!
shows how... That shows how much, like, Dean of the Dead, you, and as a brand, are sort of embedded in the horror community, that you can say, hey, lovely Scream Park people, can I come make a film here? And they go, yeah, sure. And you go, hey, scare actors, can you be in my film? And they're like, yeah, okay. And one of the other things I really, really loved is, we'll talk about your lovely cast members that are here, but you had lots of people from the horror community in smaller roles as well, which I absolutely loved, like the Dead Cats Club people, the Winky Dink Candles people, you had Cadaverous Blacks, all people I'm assuming you've met on your journeys around the country. So that to me, even though it's like a really, really little thing, made it so special to see that people have given up their time and gone, I love Dean, Dean's a good guy, I want to help support Dean's vision. And you've got all these people that you've met as part of, you know, the Dean of the Dead journey. I know it sounds really wanky to say journey, but that felt really special, that you've got all these people who've sort of gone, I recognise your vision here, I want to support your vision. And I think it just shows how lovely the horror community is, that everyone's just like, fuck yeah, I'll give up a day and dress up as a vampire, or yeah, I'll come and be in your short. And I thought that was really lovely. Did you do that on purpose, or was that sort of like a happy accident?
No, absolutely. I mean, I always like to think of myself as a bit of a talent spotter. I've got a skill for like spotting talent, and you know, like with I said to Cadaverous, years ago before I'd even met Cadaverous, the second I saw the Cadaverous visuals, I was just like, this needs to be in a film. This needs to be, you know, literally the split second. I'm talking years ago, you know, and fast forward all these years later, and then here we are. So I'd always kind of had that in mind. And then, you know, if you want kind of little characters here and there, and you think, you know, what friends do I know that would be really good for this? So, you know, for example, Lou, and we can move on to Lou in a sec, with the character of Divine Sparks. As I was kind of writing it, Lou was like the first person that came into mind. I was just like, this character's perfect for Lou, because she's bubbly, you know, and she'll bring a lot of life to it. And Lou comes from a scare acting background and more. You can talk about that, Lou.
So much. Before I start, like, I always say to Dean, he's like the Del Boy of the horror community.
Yes.
He's like,
Nathan says that. So.
The song Red Right Hand reminds me of you, because you can literally go up to anybody and say, I have this idea, or I have this opportunity, and they will
I'm like
say
Darren
yes.
Brown.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. And it's wild, but it's also nice because
Annoying.
all the time.
Give me money. You will transfer $1 million into my bank account.
It's true. It happens. I have no money now. But it's just like every
You have $1 million.
person,
Sorry.
every single person he meets, you just immediately gravitate towards him. Like, you see him at horror conventions and this, that, and the
Not
other.
everyone. Someone was having a go at me online the other day. So
Whoa! I'll fight him for you. Let's go. That's why
That's because it's online. It's not in person.
Let's go.
That's the thing.
I can
That's
be a
true,
troll.
Nathan. That's very true. That's very true. Sorry, Lou, I interrupted you.
No,
Sorry,
don't worry
Karen.
about it, man. But like, it was such a nice community feel. Like, even on set, you know, everybody had like a like-minded vibe, and everybody just had a really good time. And particularly in that kind of industry, I mean, I've been acting since I've been like 8, and I've been in some pretty horrendous situations, like drama school auditions, this, that, and the other. And let me tell you, the vibe isn't always like the vibe that was on the set for Go to Hell. You know, I have really bad anxiety, and Dean, Kemal, all of the cast, absolutely fantastic. I couldn't have done it without them, and it was just such a feel-good feel, and it was so important, like mental health-wise, that everybody was okay and having a really good time. And I think that's really important when you're doing something like this, because this project is so important to Dean that we all wanted to do a good job for him, because he's such a good guy and he's been so good to all of us. Like, every time I see him at a convention, he's surrounded by people and he has time for everybody. Literally everybody, I kid you not. Boy, oh boy. No, you genuinely do. And it's just... It's such a privilege to be a part of like something like this. And when you say it's such a Dean vibe, it really is. And it's only just the beginning. It's only the beginning.
That is very true.
He paid me 20 quid to say all that.
Only 20?
No.
I know.
I
What can I say? The economy's bad.
I was going to touch on something you said then, but I can't. My mind's gone blank. Come on, Darren. Think.
I'll second that.
Good vibes, mental health, community.
What Lou's saying there, it is really all a project. I've been involved in a lot of projects, and Lou's right. Sometimes you don't get that right vibe on the set, and everything comes down to the producer and the director, whoever's in charge of that production, to instill a certain vibe on the set. And Dean's just one of these people where he's just got an abundance of kindness in his soul, even though he's a complete lunatic. He's got an absolute abundance of kindness, and it just comes. He does, and it
like Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah, like Ozzy Osbourne. Yeah, just not as not as titchy and twitchy, but yeah. So it was just great. It was just great to be on set, and everybody that he cast was cast brilliantly. Everyone was superb, especially Lou, Nathan's son, who was amazing to shoot. Like, I was worried because when everyone says child actor, I'm always a bit like, oh my god, it could be a nightmare. But he was like a pro, a 20-year-old veteran pro.
He was super professional, yeah.
Absolutely professional, and he was brilliant. Take after take, and Dean does like to do a few takes. Take after take, he nailed it, bang on every single time, and he never complained, even though his feet were freezing, bless him. But he was just lovely. Everybody was amazing, and it all comes down to Lou and Dean are just so lovely. Everyone's lovely.
Oh, thanks, man. And so going back to what you were saying as well, Lou, about having anxiety and coming onto a set, it's daunting doing stuff like that, because you don't do it every day, because it's weird, isn't it? You think, right, I'm going to go to this place, the random place, and meet all these random people. Some I'll know, some I won't. We're going to be doing this. There's going to be lights. It's all professional, blah, blah, blah. And your anxiety is going to go through the roof. And honestly, Lou, everybody handled it like an absolute pro. Nerves or no nerves, everybody came in and delivered, and it shows in the final product.
Yeah, it doesn't come across at all that you were nervous. Like, everyone just seems to be having a really fun time. And then because you guys are having a fun time and the whole vibe is so fun, I'm having a fun time. And
yeah, it's so important to not take yourself too seriously, It
exactly.
Really is.
And when me and Dean were chatting before he sent across the film for me to watch, he was like, don't forget, it's just a little low budget indie thing. And I'm like, that's the best kind of movies to watch, because how much love has gone into them. You haven't made this because you're like, I'm going to make money, I'm going to do this, you were doing this purely for the love of the genre, for the craft of making something. And I think I would rather watch 100 little indie movies than 100 big budget movies, because there's heart in them. And like, this is actually very good, well done everybody. But I've watched so many really shit indie movies, but I still appreciate and love them, because that they've had 50 quid to make the background. You can see that it's just, they've not done a good job with it, but you can see every single person's heart and soul on that screen. And
yeah,
I will love every indie film I watch, whether it's good or not, because that love has been put onto the screen. But it's always a pleasant surprise when I watch something, when I get sent a screener for something and it's actually good, and I'm like, oh, thank fuck for that. I don't have to be like, it was really good, thanks for sending
I really
it to
hope
me.
the film festivals think this too. Like, oh my god, this is so good. A rose amongst so many thorns.
There's something exciting, but obviously it's been announced out there, but you've been accepted to a festival. You're going to be at Rilla Thriller this year, which I went to last year and I'm going to this year. So the fact that I get to see your film again on a big screen is very exciting. So yeah, tell us about that. How did that come about?
So I was kind of racing for the Fright Fest deadline. That's the one that I really want to get into. I mean, I'm every filmmaker does. It's the daddy of film festivals, I guess. Is it? I don't know. I mean, in the UK, I guess.
So, yeah.
In the UK, I think, it's a great accolade to have if you've had a film shown there. And I was just like, quietly confident. I was thinking, oh, wouldn't it be amazing for my first ever short just to be accepted? I mean, I have submitted it, and, I know they probably get thousands and thousands and thousands of submissions. So who knows? But Rilla Thriller. So basically, yeah. So I was racing to try and get the edit for Fright Fest, and then once we had that, I was like, right, okay, let's go on Film Freeway and go shopping, basically, and just have a look around. And I was kind of asking around. I asked Kemal, I asked a few other people that I know that are into film, what festivals are worth doing, what ones are, cool little indie ones that are kind of coming up, and ones that have a really good sort of horror community vibe. And Rilla Thriller was one of the ones that was mentioned. Kemal, you've been there before, haven't you?
Yeah, great festival.
Have you had a film shown there, Kemal?
No, I haven't. I went there to film their event, so I was there as an official capacity to film the event on the last one. And the two guys that run it are genuinely lovely people. Just massive horror nuts, huge horror nuts. And you can tell it's a festival.
Yeah,
I think it's only its second year, but it's growing massively. You can already see that trajectory.
Third year, this one.
Is it the third year? Trajectory-wise, it's going up. You can see that. It's a really, really good festival.
They get some pretty decent guests as well. Like, I think they had Neil Marshall there last year.
Yeah.
I think they've got the Lawrence Harvey's there. They often get some good guests. We're trying to get Mike to come along as well. And I think young Nathan is going to do the Speedy Gonzales service and go and grab him from wherever he is signing that day. And bring him.
Literally where I live, the town I live, where nobody comes ever. As I've said to Dean, I'm a very big Mighty Boosh fan. Watched it since it was on the TV, and the one time he comes to my tiny town that no one goes to, I'm in Rilla Thriller. Very crap timing.
Always the way.
We might see him.
We'll try and get him there. We're going to try and get him there. He did message me the other day saying, "Oh, hey, mate, what's happening with the festival?" He's lovely though, Mike. He's such a sweetheart. He's so funny. He's genuinely just funny. He comes out with these really weird one-liners, and he's just he's a lovely guy.
How did you meet Mike?
Well, we had a whole conversation about. We had a whole conversation about Pelican smuggling Marmite. And that literally made my life. It was brilliant. Like,
it's very Mike. It's very Mike. How did I meet him, did you say, Sam?
Yeah.
So I used to work for HMV, the record store, in my 20s. And I worked with one of my friends there, a girl called Tilly. Tilly had been transferred from the Victoria branch in London, where she worked with Mike. And they were still friendly, and the Mike didn't work there at this point, but she had worked with him. Anyway, the Boosh was taking off, and it was absolutely huge at this point. And I was running music nights in Enfield, where I was from, in North London. I had like a little indie record label. We were putting on bands. We put on Glenn Matlock from the Sex Pistols, which was pretty good. And we didn't sell enough tickets, so we couldn't pay him at the end of the night. So we had to sit fucking the Sex Pistol down and tell him we couldn't pay him. That was fun. No, he was like he was lovely. He was absolutely lovely. But yeah, so I basically said to Tilly, "Can we get Mike? Do you reckon Mike would come and DJ for us?" Because he was doing a lot of DJ sets. And she was like, "Yeah, I can ask him." The Boosh was massive at this point, so she asked him, and he came along and he did the DJ set for us. And then he came back to my house after, and then he stayed there for 3 days. 3 days later, like, we had a party. There was people coming around my house, like, phoning me up, going, "I've heard you've got Naboo there. I heard word on the street is Naboo is round at your house right now." Because like Mighty Boosh is massive at this point, and I was like, depending on who it was calling me, I was like, "Yeah, Naboo's here, man. Come round, bring some party snacks." So anyway, so that was that, and the people were coming and going, and it was just me and Naboo were left. 3 days later, still fucking standing, chatting shit. And then he basically, he fell asleep on my sofa. And then I had to ask him to leave in the end. And I had to kind of peel him off the sofa and get him a cab back to Balham. And that was it. We were just friends after that. We always had a bit of a laugh about it. And, he's such a sweet guy. And we'd often like check in with each other and go, "Hey man, how's it going?" And then when the opportunity came around for this film, I had an idea for a part for him, and I was like, I'm just going to ask him. So I asked him, sent him the script. He read the script and went, "Yeah, man, I'm in." So yeah, what was that?
Another one of these people you've charmed and collected on your journeys around the country.
When I was a bit like that. I was like, "Mike, you better do it, man. You better do it." I bullied him into it. No, I'm joking. No, yeah, I guess so. I don't know. Yeah,
this is what you do. You collect souls.
Yes.
I just asked him, and do you know what? I always find like if you don't ask, you don't get. Right?
Nobody can say no to you. What? How do you do this?
I mean, they
It
can.
is. It's a remarkable skill that he's got. He does.
The bank says no to me all the time, and I'm trying to get a fucking loan out.
It's like D&D. He gets a nat 20 every time on charisma, and I don't know how you do it, but bless you.
Yeah,
Cadavers.
charisma's the perfect word, really, there, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Ah, come on. But no, I've never heard so many people say so many nice things about me. Normally it's the
This
C
is
word.
why he's arranged this. He was like, yeah, let's get everyone on, and we can all say nice things about me.
Well, I'm not used to all these compliments, but guys, thank you very much. I shall be listening to this podcast over and over again when it comes out.
Saying about
Whenever I'm feeling down, I'm going to stick this podcast on and just listen to it.
just be like, all these nice people say nice things about me. The Mighty Boosh as a like comparison, couldn't think of the word then. I've been obviously keeping an eye on everyone's reviews and stuff, feeling like a proud auntie, being like, oh, look at everyone sharing their reviews. And lots of people have said that they feel the influence of Mighty Boosh in it, and you've mentioned Beetlejuice and Tales from the Crypt and something else that I've forgotten, but we'll skim over that one.
Inside Number 9.
Inside Number 9, that was it. That's one of my favourite TV shows ever, and I couldn't think of that. Were they examples that you gave to everybody, or did you have sort of specific references for each character? Like for Lou's character, did you say, right, okay, Divine is very similar to this character from this film, or did you sort of just let people organically create it? I don't know if that makes sense, but like I feel like the film is every 80s campy schlocky movie that's ever existed filtered through your brain onto a screen, and it just feels like there's so many influences from so many places, and I'm just curious if you sort of gone, Lou, this kind of vibe, Kemal, I want it to kind of look like this film. Did you have any specific like 80s movies that you referenced, or was it just a purely
I guess so. When I was sending the script around and when I was writing the synopsis, the things that I was referencing, you know, the kind of, and they're all I guess they all kind of come across, but Beetlejuice was definitely one of them. Because the idea for the short started around the idea of I'd always wanted to film like a seance, but then I was chatting with Laura, we were sort of just shooting the breeze, and then we were like, that's been done before though. And Laura, to her credit, was like, how about if we did a reverse seance, you know? So that's kind of where it all started from there. And then I was just getting like really strong Beetlejuice vibes, you know, and I'm a big Tim Burton fan. I love colour. I love anything colourful. So like House of a Thousand Corpses is one of my favourite films of all time. You know, it's such a labour of love project for Rob Zombie, which is, and just quickly, I'm just going to kind of go off piste here. But you know, when I mentioned earlier on about sending the film to Spider One and him watching it, at the very beginning, so Gary's character, Robert, his full name in it is Robert Cummings, and that's Rob Zombie's
And that's Rob Zombie's name.
That's Rob Zombie's real name. It
How
was
did
my
I
nod
miss
towards
that?
Rob Zombie. It was my nod towards Rob Zombie because I love Rob Zombie, so it was my little nod towards him. Even though the characters are wrong, and I thought, actually, shit, is he going to take that the wrong way? But anyway, when Spider was watching it, I was thinking, fuck, he's going to see all the certificates at the beginning that say Robert Cummings, blah blah blah. But he never picked up on it actually. But yeah, definitely like Inside Number 9. I absolutely love. You know, I'm a big fan. So I've got an idea for a feature that I want to do, and vibe-wise, style-wise, you know. Inside Number 9, that real kind of dark humour mixed with that really kind of macabre horror sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? I love that. There was this thing that Reece Shearsmith did actually. It was on Netflix. It was a couple. I can't remember what it was called. I don't know if anyone ever saw it, but it was about where he was slipping something into his partner's drink and slowly trying to kill her off.
Oh
I think
my
it was
god,
based
it's The
on.
Widower, and it is one of the greatest series on TV that's ever made.
Oh, is that what it's called? I need
with
to
Reece
rewatch it.
Shearsmith. And,
Yeah, me too.
The Widower,
So, like,
it was on
something
ITV.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. Oh, okay. I thought it was Netflix. Anyway, that was so sick. You know, that real kind of dark. It was so dark. And Reece Shearsmith, I'd love to work with Reece Shearsmith. That'd be a dream come true. But yeah, just that kind of humour. I love their humour because they can turn the horror on just like that as well. and then bring you back to the humor again. And I just fucking love it. I think it's so, I love that Britishness. I think that's what comes across in Go to Hell as well. When I've sent it across the pond to American friends, I'm like, it's very British. It's got a very British sense of humor. And that's totally what I was going for. But yeah, the colours from like Beetlejuice, House of a Thousand Corpses was one film I referenced, Inside Number 9, and I think and the Mighty Boosh as well, because there is a lot of that Boosh style humour in there, that slapsticky kind of, a little bit corny, a little bit cheesy, but it kind of gets away with it, As for the characters, I think I can't remember, Lou, you might remember if I gave you any pointers as to the Divine Spark. I kind of just let Lou run with it. I think the character, I gave like big character descriptions, and then I think the script, the script kind of spoke for itself. So I think everybody kind of just, I said to Lou, bubbly, give it some, yes, darling, a bit of a kind of showman kind of vibe, Divine Sparks, darling, imagine big feathers and all this kind of stuff.
I mean,
But I kind of also let the guys do their thing as well,
I think because that's basically what you did. You essentially gave us like keywords to work with rather than this is who I'm thinking of for this part. Like a little bit of background. Yeah. I'm an ex-dungeon performer, and what they do with the scripts is a little bit of insider knowledge. Probably shouldn't be saying this, but whatever. So when they give you a script for the torturer, for the males, it's Greg Davis, which, and then for
Brilliant.
the females, it's from Kill Bill. It's that woman. Haven't seen it. Horrible.
Well,
it's her.
Just real quick, just before I forget it, because I will forget it also, and it's touching on exactly what you're saying here. For Nicholas, I mentioned Rick Mail. And then, so his performance as the Dean of the Dead character, you can totally hear the Rick Mail-isms coming across. Anyway, sorry, Lou. I had to say that before I forgot.
That's all right. But it's like, so with those like keywords and like those elements, it was almost like we could kind of like make our own characters and make them more original rather than this is this character, they remind me of X, Y, and Z, which has been really nice because people have concentrated more on the atmosphere of the movie and what it reminds them of. And going through the script, I felt like I was in Shaun of the Dead or Inside Number 9 or The Mighty Boosh. It was nice to have that kind of feel behind it of this really dry humour that people are going to pick up on instantly. And when you have got a character brief like that, it's a lot less pressure for the performers because you think, okay, you've given me this character brief of this certain individual and I don't feel like I can reach that because that's not me. The only kind of character brief I had really was for the look, and it was like goth Stevie Nicks, like, because we were talking about it and went, oh my God, like she sounds like a, goth heavy metal Stevie Nicks. Let's work with this. But it was just so freeing and it came so naturally. And it's the same for everybody. Like nobody got a distinct, I want you to be like this person that's come before. You're making your own original character, which is a really special thing to do.
That's really nice. It does seem like it's been really collaborative, like from everybody, that it's not just Dean telling everyone what to do. Like everyone's had their input and had their vision and stuff. And that sounds like a really wholesome way to make a movie. Like like I said, I can feel that you guys had fun making it. I can feel that you all feel chilled and happy. Like it doesn't feel like sometimes you can watch indie films and they feel awkward, and I know that sounds really weird to say, but like this
I know what you mean.
Is that big, like the community thing again, and like everyone's sort of been on the same page, and it definitely feels like that. But you mentioned about Nicholas, which I made a note about that actually, because I found it really interesting that there's a character, Dean of the Dead, that's not played by you. Is there a reason for that? Is it just that you didn't want to direct and act at the same time, or?
Yeah, totally that. And let's be honest, Nicholas is a good actor. I am not. No, I definitely wanted somebody. So originally, because I put together a horror anthology, which I called Dean of the Dead's Holiday Horrors, which was a horror anthology, which had a lot of, basically I've worked from other directors. So all I made was the wraparound scene, and it was all all the shorts in that were introduced by the Dean of the Dead character, the zombie. So it's a little bit like the kind of crypt keeper. So I kind of wanted to carry that character over into this as a little nod to that, to keep it all in the same universe. And then I was like, but it's going to be a lot of people to kind of manage on set that day. There's going to be a lot of things that I'm going to have to kind of keep, making sure people are in makeup. There's making sure the props are all set up, making sure there was so much going on that day, and we had to get it all done in a day. So I was just like, no, screw that. I think it's better to get somebody who can actually act properly, because that will really add to the production value. And Nicholas is fantastic, and then I don't have to worry about all of the makeup side of things. Because also I've sat in a chair quite a few times and had that exact makeup on that Nicholas has had on. And it's a real pain in the ass to get off. And I was just like, I don't want to be wandering around the set for the rest of the day with this like thing stuck to my face, because it's all prosthetics and it's all glued to your beard, and yeah. So I was just like, no, I'll set that out. It'll be less stressful, because I'm also, it was my first attempt at directing something, and I wanted to really be like focused on other role things rather than like I've got to sit in a chair for an hour and a half, put makeup on and remember lines. I was just like, nah. Let's get a proper actor to do that.
Yeah, I did find myself looking to see if you were in the background somewhere, to be like, is Dean over there?
Oh, no. People see enough of my mug, I'm trying to get the talented people in there.
Well, talking of talented people, I have to shout out Laura, your partner. Like, I was amazed when I looked at like the list of all the roles and everything, how much she did. And in the nicest possible way, she puts up with you every day, and she comes to all your events and everything. And she even then came onto your film set, and I made a note, she was the executive producer, the assistant editor, she worked on costume and props, she did the photography on set. Like, that was a lot. And that's impressive for anyone to do.
But that's our life. I mean, Laura's very creative. She's a very creative person. She's got a real sharp eye for editing, for taking photos. Like, she's very, very smart. She's got great ideas. So yeah, she's like a real asset to the team, and she loves it and enjoys it. I'm not there going, come on, you must help us out, but she wants to help out, and she likes just taking a back seat as well. She likes just kind of she'll go to bed early. She's like, no, you do the podcasts, that's not me. But yeah, no, she helped with everything. Like, when we were talking about when we were putting the costumes together, I would run everything by Laura. She would be on Temu, like ordering this or everything that Lou's character wore. She was kind of piecing it all together, and yeah, so it was good to, be doing that together. And it worked really well. Although I can't, you still have to keep him at arm's length, though, Sam, you know what I'm saying?
Jump in there for a minute with about Laura. When obviously, the first time I met them both was on set when we started working together, and Laura is like, because Dean's like a whirlwind running around, he's this creative energy, ball of energy, and she's like in the eye of the storm. And she lynches Dean in a place where he can then visualize everything that he's going to do. She was a massive influence on set. Like, she was brilliant to work with from the cinematography producer aspect. She was really organized, but at the same time, she really, from my perspective, from what I saw, she really helped Dean hone what he really, really wanted to do, and that partnership that they have is
yeah, absolutely. And she's totally got my back there as well, which I know, she's got my back if I need her to. If something's stressing me out, she's like, don't worry, I'll deal with it. Do you know what I mean? So it really, I always try and make sure that when we pick a shoot day, that she's available to come along. And just she loves being involved as well. She wants to be a part of it, and I wanted to be a part of it. So and she makes me feel a lot calmer on set in that environment, especially that one, because it was my first, experience of kind of getting in actors and working with Kemal, cinematographer, and sound. It's all like, it's quite overwhelming just to kind of immerse yourself in that sort of thing, that project, like from the word go, And it's really weird. You kind of get imposter syndrome. You're just like, what am I doing? All these people are here for me. God, what's going on? But then, Laura would be there to kind of rein it in and go, no, you do really well. Just, crack on. This is going to be great. And yeah.
And I think she's like proof of, because I've known you guys for a while now, and she's so switched on and so in the moment, and so she's like a pillar of strength. And she basically gives the response.
Tells me off.
She bloody does. And there are a lot of people when you go through something like this where they'll say something that's not particularly nice, like, and to the actors, and they'll go, "Oh, I said it out of stress. I said it because I'm so stressed." And not once did that ever happen on the Go to Hell set. Even though we got to about 6 o'clock and we still had so much to shoot. And not once did Laura or Dean or Kemal raise their voices. "Come on, guys, you need to shut up. Like, we need to do this." It was so supportive. She was so supportive. Like, if anybody was kind of having a little bit of a flip-flop, she was there. And it was just, from a performer perspective, it makes people want to work with the people who are behind the scenes. Like, reputation is such a massive thing. Like, I've got a really big network of people who want to perform in movies and perform this, that, and the other. And it's recommendations like this to say, "I've worked with these people, they will treat you well." And that's where networking comes from. And that's really important. And they just smashed it out straight away. Like, anybody in the future would be so lucky to work with these guys, honestly.
Oh, I think it's like I've done years and years of like, I think all of the jobs that you've worked over the years, you kind of pull all these different skills from those things you've done over the years. And I've done tons and tons of retail, and that is just like dealing, like I've worked at Harrods, I've worked at Hamleys, I was a toy demonstrator at Harrods, I worked at HMV, I've worked at Virgin, I've worked at Topshop in Oxford. So you name it, I've worked there, Blockbuster Video. Growing up, you know, because I was a musician, my day job would be there, my evening job would be playing gigs. So I was dealing with people at gigs, you know, doing all the. So I think, you know, I was well versed in like dealing with people. And also because I was job hopping, I'm a bit of a rebel and I hate being told what to do, but I'm a nice guy. So I was like, I'm never going to tell anyone what to do. I think I'd make a good boss because I don't scream and shout at people. And people want to do things for you then. When I've worked for a boss or bosses in the past and they scream and shout at me, I just want to tell them to go fuck themselves. I don't want to work harder for them or try and please them, you know. So I think that's something that you bring into this. You know, you've got a bunch of people here, you want them to do something really cool, you know, appreciate them, you know, be patient with them and just kind of have a good time, because really that's really why we're all here, is because we just want to have fun. So I don't think I could ever be on a set where I'd be screaming and shouting and getting stressed. I'd shut it down and go home if that was the case, because that's just not my vibe at all.
Yeah, it's really nice to hear these stories actually like line up with what's on screen, because you feel that as a viewer, and it's nice to hear that that's how it was. And I had no doubt that it would be like that, but sounds really lovely. And hearing like how Laura supported you on set, that's really nice as well, because I think when you hear about creative couples, quite often you have like a mismatch of, you know, one person's off busy all the time, so it's nice that you're so supportive of each other and that you work together. And like I said, it's impressive how much everybody in the cast has done. Like Kemal, you didn't just do the cinematography, you did the editing as well, so like everyone's been really, really busy on it, and you've got a great short out of it, which is lovely. So like, if you're not all really proud of yourselves, you should be really proud of yourselves, because it's really
thank you,
fun.
Sam.
And I genuinely can't wait to see like what you do next, especially if it's as fun as this. Like, part of me thought, I know Dean, this is going to be a bit of a gore fest, this is going to be like really like 80s, and then it wasn't a big gore fest, it was funny, and the humour didn't shock me, because I've met you, I know you are a funny guy, so it's very much your vibe. But would you want to work on a similar vibe for your next show, or are you thinking of anything? Oh, look at him, he's got something up his sleeve.
He's so happy.
Well, okay, so the next thing that I'm doing, I guess it's cool to say this, right? So basically, I was aware that, so I'm a gore hound. I love gore. I love 80s horror. I love tacky gore, all sorts of gore. I love fucking gore. It's great. Because I was restricted on budget, obviously, if you're going to film something, have gore and make it, you want to sell it so it's believable, you have to have a bit of a bigger budget for a start. I think, you know, you want to get those effects right. Kate, we must mention Kate, because she's absolutely fantastic.
Best colour in her in the world.
Oh, she's so good, honestly. And I actually I was kind of working on, weirdly enough, I managed to get myself onto the set of Jeepers Creepers 4, absolute bag of dog shit film. But I had a part, I had a stall. I had a Dean of the Dead stall. If you blink and miss it, there's a Dean of the Dead stall in that opening scene. Why am I telling this story? Where was we?
Kate.
Yes, that's where I met Kate.
Come on, guys.
That's where I met Kate. What was I talking about, Kate? Gore, right? So you have to kind of backtrack.
This is beautiful. This is beautiful.
Right, so Jeepers Creepers 4, bag of shit. Met Kate there. Kate's fantastic. Knew Kate for some other friends as well. So I've worked with Kate on various other projects. She's really, really good. She again is in the scare industry. She works at Traumatica every year over in Germany. She can think on her feet. She's super quick, but you know, she takes her time. Her detail's fantastic. She's just great, you know. And she's again an absolute diamond of a human being, you know. She's wonderful. Couldn't recommend Kate highly enough to anybody, although don't book her because we want her. You can't have her. She's ours. Gore, though, going on to the gore side of things. So for this time around, obviously because of those budget restrictions, and also because I just wanted to get something done. I didn't want to rush it, but at the same time I wanted to get it done. So I was kind of flexing more the comedy muscle as opposed to the gore, even though I love gore. So we did have a little bit in the end. I love, you know, anything kind of supernatural and creepy as well. So I was like, this movie's got enough already. It's got a great, you know, all these different colourful characters. It's got fantastic set pieces. It's fun. It's colourful. It's got great production value. It's got Cadaverous in there. Shout to Cadaverous because he's absolutely Cadaverous.
He's haunted in it. Like genuinely, he made my tummy go.
Yeah.
So the people that don't know him, because we know him, we know how sweet Cadaverous is, but the people who don't know who Cadaverous is, like the first time I laid eyes on him, fucking terrifying. It's Kemal. Didn't you say your teenage daughter ran out the room?
She ran out the room. She saw a shot of him in the film and ran. But he is the sweetest human being. Genuinely sweetest human being.
He really,
really is. And the tidiest house guest ever.
And also...
Cadaverous stayed upstairs. We had him here. We had Cadaverous here.
Sorry, go on.
Was that?
I was just saying he was so helpful.
Oh, no, sorry, man.
He was so helpful on set.
Yeah. Yeah, as was young Nathan right here as well. Nathan, let's shine a light on you, man. Because Nathan was, you know, we had Nathan in originally for, what was it originally? It was one of the vampires, wasn't it? And then it kind of changed up because we had the Dead Cats came in and they kind of came with the other guys as well, Aaron and Amy. It is Aaron, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it Aaron? Yeah. I'm really bad with names. And so we're like, well, actually, these guys kind of all look great as a four-piece that you don't really need, apart from Kate's wonderful makeup, you don't really need to do too much to them because they all look sick as fuck anyway. So I was like, but we don't want to lose Nathan because Nathan's a great actor and he's a great guy. So we'll try and find a role for Nathan. So then we had Nathan... We had you play like the trash punk. I call them like the trash punks, you know, and you and Jay, and you know, it's kind of had that Return the Living Dead vibe. And then Jay did the makeup for that as well for you, didn't he? And then I'll pass the baton over to you, Nathan, man. Take it away.
There was a very brief second where I was going to be Sid as well.
Yes, I remember because that's right. Yeah.
You asked me to do the audition,
and he ended up just getting it by a bin.
Yeah, that's what I ended up doing.
No, you did. You played. I think no, you had.
I was going to be in the journey to it, but I think that got cut out as well because I made the whole mask thing and stuff, but it just.
There's some scenes that got cut that haven't even made the sort of the longer version, the 27-minute version. There's like a news report at the end, and then there's some scenes of Gary wrapped up in cling film, and there's some scenes of Charlie's character on the bed. There is more blood actually, but we just cut it out because we were like, it doesn't need it. It's just adding on extra time, and we want to make these festival things. Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, there is a lot that will kind of flesh the story out a little bit more and just give the viewer that little bit extra. But just quickly going back to the gore side of things and what we've got planned on my days. Yeah, so basically with this one's now signed, sealed, delivered. I've entered it into a lot of different festivals. We got Fright Fest, Celluloid Screams, Grimfest, Rilla Thriller, which we got accepted straight away Chad messaged me and said, I've watched it. He said, we haven't even announced the other films yet. He's like, but dude, this is great. You're in. So I was just like, I hope they all go like that. So now there's a bunch of others we're waiting to hear back from. So hopefully this film will have a nice kind of healthy festival journey. I've got the next shoot set up. Now this is where the gore comes in. I'm filming a promo for Cannibal Corpse, the band, and because we're making a hot sauce. Well, I'm doing a hot sauce. I'm actually launching tomorrow. When this comes out, it will already be out. But basically, we're launching it tomorrow, and the band are like fully behind it. You know, they're. I've been speaking to the lady that kind of does all their social media. And she's like, yeah, whatever you want to post. It's really surreal. It's really fucking surreal. I'm in control tomorrow of what goes on Cannibal Corpse's Instagram. Like, I've literally written... That's fucking so strange, man.
Mental.
Like, I've literally written... I'm allowed to pick the song. I can pick the tune. We're doing a collaboration post. They've got like nearly 1 million fucking... My phone's going to be dinging off left, right and centre. I'm allowed to pick the tune. I've written the copy text that goes up. And then they're just like, yeah, just let us know when you want to post it and we'll accept. I'm like... Okay, Cannibal Corpse. Anyway, so that's the next one, and then part of the, you know, obviously the job description is lots and lots of blood. The source is called Scalding Blood. It's only going to be like a 4-minute long promo. It's going to feature their songs, and it's going to have lots and lots of blood and gore and all sorts of crazy shit. But it's think Michael Jackson's Thriller. That's kind of what I've got in my mind. You know, you got that little bit of story at the beginning. And then all of a sudden it goes pear-shaped, and then boom, the song kicks in. There's fucking zombies and all kinds of shit. It's going to be a different narrative, but that's the kind of thing I want to go for, like an extended kind of. Does that make sense? Like a promo, like about a 4-minute promo with music and a little bit of story kind of thing. That's what I'm going for. So anyway, gore, lots and lots and lots of gore there. I've got another short lined up, which I've almost finished writing. I just need to finish it. Which is it's kind of Mad Max meets Black Mirror meets The Warriors. It's quite an ambitious one, but it's going to be great. And
is that a feature or a short?
That's another short. I want to do another short. The plan was to do a short, then another short, and then I'm going to do a feature. I've got the ideas. I've kind of got I've got it all sketched out. I know what I want to do, and I can't wait to start making that. But yeah, I always said to myself, don't rush. Make sure it's quality, not quantity, you know. So I just want to make sure there's all these other little projects. You know what it's like. Kemal's a creative guy. He's a filmmaker as well. Like, you get this idea, that idea, this idea, and you just want to do them all now. But you really have to dial it back and go, what one's going to be? You have to schedule it all in properly, and, you know, take your time and get it right. That's kind of what I've learned anyway. But yes, there is going to be gore. Yes, there will be blood.
That's amazing. Like, obviously you've been like teasing it sort of by advertising, like doing your casting calls and stuff, and when I saw it I was like, what is he doing? Because you said about it being extreme horror and things, and I was like, what is this? And it's amazing. Well done. Like, congratulations. That's
cool.
Huge. Like, Cannibal Corpse
it is huge.
Sick, man. Like,
I know they're probably like the biggest. I know they're not everyone's cup of tea, but like, they are the biggest death metal band in the world. Like, they're huge. People go crazy for their stuff, even if they're horror fans and don't necessarily like the music. They are lovely. Like, they're the coolest, most chill guys to deal with. I've been speaking to Vince Locke, who does all of their album artwork. Like, again, just a real nice guy. The management, it's gone. The whole thing's just gone so smoothly. It's really strange, but like, it's very surreal in a good way. The idea for the promo, I pitched that to them because, again, just got to ask. And they were like, Paul, name dropping again. He's the drummer. He was like, let me just check with the guys. So I'm like, all right, Paul, you just go and check with Cannibal Corpse. And then and he come back to me. He's like, Dean, everyone's up for it. He goes, but obviously we just want to vet it first before it goes out. So obviously we just got to make sure we get the aesthetic right. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, blood, cool storyline. We've cast it really well. It's only going to be a 1-day shoot, so we need to really kind of get the effects in with the gore and stuff. Maybe 2 days if we need it. I'm trying to get Extreme Scream Park. I've been chatting with those guys to use a maze there, but I don't know if you know that, Sam. I don't know if you heard of Extreme Scream Park.
I can't do Scream Parks. My little autistic brain. As much as I'm obsessed with horror,
logging out.
My little autistic brain goes, it's real, and I went to
It
Halloween
is
Horror
real.
Nights.
It
I
is
went to
real. You will get killed.
Yeah, I mean, first time I ever did it, I did the biggest. Did Halloween Horror Nights in Orlando, and I thought I was gonna fucking die. I had diazepam
You sound
on
like
me,
my
so I
daughter.
took it, and I was just walking around, and I was completely like dead because of the diazepam, and I kept going, ugh, oh no, frightening, and like I couldn't physically react to how I felt inside, and it's too loud. There's too many sounds, too many smells, and it's just like sensory overload for me. And as much as I did 2 whole houses. I was so proud of myself. I did the Shining maze, which was fucking beautiful, and I
Nice.
did the American Horror Story one, which was also beautiful. But I am the person who every single year follows all of the Horror Nights releases and then watches all the walkthroughs, and I will watch hundreds
Same,
of walkthroughs.
yeah.
And so I enjoy it from afar, and I enjoyed walking around and the scare actors. That's great. Love that. I got told off for trying to hug one of them, and I was like, I know you're not supposed to touch them, but I wanted to hug him because he was so cute. He was trying to frighten me, and I was like, oh, I just want to hug you. And they very politely told me off, and I wanted to die right there because I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. But it's just me. I'm just like, oh, little monster, I want to hug you, because that's just how I am. But yeah, I tried to go into a third house, and I had a full-on fucking meltdown. Just in the queue because it was so loud and you're all crammed in there. And
Intense,
it was hot
very
and really
overwhelming.
smelly, and I just couldn't do it. So I will
I took
go
my
again.
son and my daughter to Extreme Scream. Harley, my boy, he was fine with it. When we came out the maze, I was like, "What do you think?" He's like, "It's right," like teenagers do. My daughter had the biggest meltdown I've ever seen in my life. She flipped her shit in there. Halfway through the maze, she's kicking and screaming. I was like, Mika, calm down. It's not real. Oh my God. Oh my fucking God. Like every time someone jumped out, oh my God. She had my scarf on. She lost that in there because she fucking threw it somewhere. Honestly. That was the first maze. And it was the outdoor corn maze. It wasn't even like the indoor Ash Hill Penitentiary. It's very scary. Even I thought that was scary. She would have died in there, honestly. But yeah, I get that it's not for everyone, but it is funny watching people like that go through them.
If it makes you feel any better, we also have like just overwhelming meltdowns. I was in a scare maze once, and we were so low staffed. Everybody had chest infections. I've been like punched, kicked, grabbed, yelled at so many times, and I had this entire corridor to cover with all these zombie mannequins, and I was done up to the nines as like an infected zombie, and I just broke down, and I was scaring these people whilst I was crying, and they like kind of screamed and then went, wait, are you okay? And I was like, no, I don't think I am. I think and we just had this like cuddle all together. And I was like, okay, I feel better. I need to carry on doing my job now. And they were like, we understand. And I just screamed at them and chased them out. And I was like, thank you so much.
That's an excellent story.
It was wild.
Our friend Pagan, she was in the short as well. Pagan, shout out to Pagan. We love Pagan. Pagan's another essential part of the crew. I've worked a lot with Pagan in the past. She's great. She is also a scare actor at Alton Towers, and she said she's been punched in the face before. They'd have crews coming through on those nights. You know the ones I'm talking about, Lou. Those nights.
Yeah, I do.
And she said a bunch of lads coming through and they're just like clocking the fucking actors.
It's normal.
Like,
it's no matter wherever you go, what screen part you go to, it's normal, and I hate that that's a thing for scare actors. And
that's why they got security at HHN round every corner. And it breaks the immersion, but I guess they have to do it because there's too many dickheads in the world. But they have the security on more or less every bend. Someone in a high vis.
I find it so weird that they sell and like push so much alcohol at HHN, because like your instinct is to go fuck and hit somebody, and I obviously don't condone it, but I completely understand the
fight or flight, isn't it?
You just get away from me and kind of like smack somebody. But like if someone's drunk, there's so much higher risk of that, and I just think they should be alcohol free environments for the safety of the scare actors.
Some of them do.
sometimes you get little autistic goblins like me trying to hug them because I'm like, oh, you're so cute, you're trying to frighten me. And they're like, don't do that. And I'm like, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to. I just love him. And that haunted me for about 2.5 years, where that kind of like shame and like, oh my God, that was, and obviously I didn't do anything. It was wrong because I wasn't supposed to try and touch them, but it was just my instinct. He was coming at me like this, and I was like, oh, hug. But yeah, that shame plagued me for a long time. But yeah, I can't do scare things. Because any of you been to the Dracula experience in Whitby?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
See, Lou knows, it's so shit.
There's like
things and
yeah.
It scared the shit out of me.
My celebrant for my wedding, because it's so badass. She's from Whitby. She's like a full-on goth from Whitby. We were going to meet up with her to sort out a few bits of paperwork, and she texted us going, "Have you just come out of the crapula experience, or are you still going in there?" And I was like, "What does that mean?" And I realised, and it was bad. But there was one scare actor in there,
yes.
And he got me, and I said, "Fair play to you, bruh. You're the only one in here," and I dropped. I
really want
the fucking shit out of me.
I love bad.
I really want to do it. I did the Whitby Goth Festival once. I had a stall at the Whitby Goth Festival. But there's 2 areas where you can pitch up and trade. There's one down near where they had the bands, and then there's one in a sports hall. And that's where they put me, in a flipping sports hall. It's the least gothic place. Yeah. There's people coming in to like with gym bags going training, like, I want to be where the goths are. So we actually packed up after one day, and we fucked off to another festival. We weren't supposed to, but I was like, I'm not staying here. So we didn't get the chance to do it. So I do want to go back and do that. However, I did do a really hokey one in Transylvania many years ago, where you've got the Dracula's castle, which isn't actually Dracula's castle. Oh, where is it? I can't remember the name of the place. Bran Castle.
Bran Castle, yeah.
Right at the foot of the castle, they've got this real kind of like marketplace that sells everything Dracula themed, and then they've got this little scare maze. It's so weird. It's so tacky, and it's exactly what I imagine that one at Whitby's like.
It's
super tacky. A little scare actor at the end.
Animatronics and little A blast just going psht at you all the time.
That's
and
what
there's
it's
me thinking I'm gonna die because a little A blast went psht at me. But yeah, I knew there was a scare actor in there, and we could see him as we walked into the room. There was only 3 of us going through, and my friend was like, "You better not be a real person." I was like, and I said to him, I went, "I fucking see you. Don't you dare try and scare me. You better not fucking scare me."
I'll
he just
cuddle you.
Didn't move. And then as we walked out, he went, all of a sudden just leapt as we just went past him and screamed at us, and we were all like, "Ah!" And like, I thought I was going to fucking die. And the whole time I'm going, this is shit. This is really crap. But my little like lizard brain is going, they're going to kill you. You're going to die. And I came out of there and I went, I can't do things like this anymore. I just cannot do it.
So our young Nathan over here, he works at the Walsall Scare Maze, and he was in the extreme maze, and his role was as like a chef, and he was done up so well. I didn't even know it was Nathan. And Nathan, I'll let you tell this, man. You tell this. I've got the worst gag reflex in the world.
Which bit? Yeah, I was gonna say, which bit do you want? You love the smell.
I don't even think I can listen to the story.
So Dean wouldn't come through.
You get it with dildos and all kinds of weird shit.
But like, he wouldn't come through. He's having none of it. But we had to come out because we've got another guest coming through that we all wanted to do something at the end for, because they've been through like 5 times and we've only been open for 1 season. So we all come out, and I spotted Dean up the corner.
That's me thinking.
And I was like, I'm going to go, what are you going?
I'm thinking about it.
Stop it, because you'll start me gagging.
I'm going to go wind him up while he's standing there. So I've been in my room. Basically, it was for the Christmas special. So I was force feeding people Christmas dinner. except
Sounds great.
none of it was cooked. It was all raw. So there's just
He
I'm just
stank
like
of onion
you know,
and garlic,
onions, garlic, potatoes, like
smothered
parsnips,
all
just
over him,
stinking of it all over me.
reeked.
Loads of clotted fake blood in my beard that I'd put like gravy granules in as well, just to make it extra nasty. Absolutely reeking. Plus, I'm a smelly person anyway.
Same.
Like as soon like an hour into a shift in the scare maze, and everyone's going, "Have you even had a shower?" I'm like, literally right before I got here. So I've gone over to Dean, leant over to him, started teasing him, and he's just started doing this. What he's doing now. But then
It was
every time
gross.
I came out of the maze for anything, I was like beelining straight for Dean, setting him off. He's trying to sit there, have a nice pint, and I'm like, and
It smelled
then he
like
asked me to take him on a tour round, and I had to pre-warn him when we were getting to my bit of the room.
like when a
I was like-
Chinese. When a Chinese restaurant chucks all their old veg out the back in the alley and the rats come and fucking sift through it. That's what he smelled like. It's disgusting. Onion and
I got
garlic.
completely used to it though. I didn't even notice it.
Oh, it's rank. It was proper rank. I've got a really, really weak stomach. Anyway, let's talk about the film.
I don't know how you do it, bro. I don't know how you do it.
I've got the strongest stomach ever until I don't. Like, I worked in an abattoir, and I was in the gut room. I don't, but I did. And I was in the gut room and everything. Absolutely fine, no issue. Cleaning dog poo in the garden.
I knew you was a nut job.
My little finger went past the bag and just touched it, and I was wrecking for like 20 minutes. I'm like, I've literally been elbow deep in it all day at work, but I've slightly touched something with the tip of my finger and I was done. I turned into Dean. I
It's
was all over the place.
circumstance. That's what it is. It's circumstance.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you said he's circumcised.
I know things. That's
He's
what I do. I
circumcised,
drink
that's
and I
what it
know
is.
things.
Because he's got his helmet on display, that's why.
I actually don't have any trousers on. I figured it'd only be top half, so I'm all right.
Oh
my God, same.
Just in a t-shirt, no trousers. Well, guys, I think we should probably start wrapping up a little bit because I know.
No, I want to
get
talk more about
Well, we can
Nathan
talk
being
more if you want
circumcised.
to.
I'm joking.
But,
No, I'm joking.
What I wanted to ask though is, because I'm such a big nerd and I love talking about horror, and I could talk about horror all fucking day. You guys, have you got favourite horror movies, favourite subgenres, favourite directors? I need to know. It's like knowing someone's star sign. I'm like, what's your favourite horror movie? Whoever wants to go first. But
Who's going to start? Who's going to start?
Ladies
Lou
first,
looks
go on,
excited.
Lou.
Lou should go
I'm
first.
so excited.
Go on,
Oh my
Lou.
God, you don't understand. So, Evil Dead
Yay!
2 is my favourite. It's my parentage was interesting growing up. They essentially went, yeah, you're responsible enough to look after yourself, and just like bolted and left. And my dad's DVD collection was just there, and the one that stuck out to me was the Evil Dead franchise, and I started watching it and everything changed. Honestly, I love it so much. I love Evil Dead 2 is my favourite film of all time. I love the simplicity of it. I love the humour of it. I love the gore. I love the practical effects. I love how like quirky it is, and I think that's one of the reasons why I loved Go to Hell so much, because it didn't take itself too seriously. And I think particularly at this point in time, we need some movies that do that, because quite a lot of horror movies I've seen recently, the amount of movies I've either cried at or been like, oh my God, this is so serious, I need to watch a million cat videos, outweigh the kind of goofier movies, the kind of humorous movies. You know, I keep going back to like Shaun of the Dead and Dead Alive and this, that and the other. So it's so nice to be a part of something that's not afraid to go out of the seriousness and just, come on, let's just have a good time. And Evil Dead 2, that is my good time movie. I'm obsessed.
Good answer.
A podcast this morning actually about Evil Dead. Gore Things podcast. If you don't listen to Gore Things, listen to it. It's fucking great. It's a gore podcast, but they've just done an episode on the original Evil Dead. And as you were saying, that was quite interesting because obviously the way Evil Dead, like the first one, was done, was very much very small, collaborative, everyone just doing everything, and that's very similar to like what you guys did. Like you all pitched in, you've all worked, and it was fun, and it feels very similar in vibe of like the way they made that, of like you guys just all having fun and doing it for the love of it, rather than some big broad, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but like you're not doing it for the money, you're not doing it for the fame, you're doing it because it's the love of the art and the love of the
passion,
genre.
yeah.
And that's very similar to, I think, how Sam Raimi started out, isn't it?
And I think
Oh, are you going to be the next Sam Raimi?
Yes!
I think that's where you
going to
see
be the next one?
a lot of the sort of success stories come because they're built because because if you have a team that works so well together, and you're good at storytelling, and you've got all the parts that are in the right place, which I think we've got. The only way is up. Do you know what I mean? And it can only get better. It can't. You can't go backwards unless it really does. It starts with the script, and if you can get that bit right, and you've got a fantastic crew around you, then the only way is up. Who knows? Who knows what we'll be doing in a few years' time? But I certainly I've got the bug, 100%. I'm not stopping ever.
Kemal, I know you've worked on a whole bunch of different horrors and stuff, but what's your favourite, like, for you to watch?
I hate that question. I mean, I love that question.
Sorry.
Horror, but
you can do like a top 5, or
yeah. See,
you can throw.
Big fan of Evil Dead, absolutely. But I prefer number 1. I think number 1's the better one personally. I'm more into folklore horror, so I love folklore horror. So I love The Wicker Man is one of my favourites. Yeah, so difficult. I love The Shining. The Shining for me is one of the best films ever made. God, so many good ones.
Which one? The original, the Kubrick one?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. The rest don't even.
No one ever cites the Mick Garris one as the best.
I know. I was going to say, apart from Stephen King, himself.
I
love Uncle Mick though, so I
love
appreciate his version because he's a sweet baby angel. I love him.
Yeah.
I love Mick Garris.
But yeah, oh man, it's so hard to choose because I just watch horror all the time. It's a bit difficult to choose. But I tell you what, a modern one that I saw recently, which I really like. I don't agree with Lou on this. I actually really like my horror dark and depressing. So I liked Longlegs. I absolutely adored Longlegs. I thought that's probably one of the best modern horror.
Yeah.
I couldn't get with that.
Loved it.
I don't think I like it.
Oh,
I enjoyed The Monkey, but I didn't like Longlegs.
I loved it. Absolutely fucking loved it. I've watched it like 5-6 times. It's fucking incredible. The style of it. I
fell asleep in the cinema.
I need to rewatch it.
Did you really? How the fuck can you fall asleep when there's all those noises being...
I need to rewatch it.
Nick Cage shouting like that. How the fuck can you fall asleep?
I don't know. And I haven't done that for years, but I fell asleep.
I loved it.
Multiple times, and I woke up at the point in the beginning when you just see the bottom half of his face, and then you see all of his face, and that big noise and everything's scary. I woke up as that happened, and my eyes just opened to see Nick Cage's face go bloop, and I was just like, fucking hell!
God, that's horrifying.
Myself. It was horrifying, and I just kept nodding off. For me, and every time he'd like be unhinged and scream, I'd wake up.
For me, horror, what I love about horror is when it touches something primal, and films like Longlegs for me touch something primal in me, which fuck around with my head, and that to me is where real. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love all types of horror. I love campy horror. I'm a huge fan of Return of the Living Dead, or the Light in the Living Dead movies, but something about the psychological aspect of horror really, really gets to me. So that's why that's me.
Yeah, like you were saying, Lou, about all the movies sort of having these like bigger themes and things in them. So many horror movies now are like an allegory for grief, an allegory for depression. But I fucking love that. I love that so much. Like same about like the new Oblique movies. I saw Bring Her Back on Monday, and it is one of the most
I want to see that.
I'm
so excited.
It is rough.
I really want to see that.
Yeah, it kicked kept me in the feels repeatedly through the film, and I love when a film can do that. But it's one of those ones where the lights come up and everyone's just sat there going,
I feel like it's one of those where, because I went to see 28 Years Later the other day and freaking loved it. The ending,
I love the ending, it's great.
it's wild, but it's like, so without spoiling it too much, it has a lot to do with the concept of death, and it was beautifully done in my eyes. I can watch horror until the cows come home, but I'm very much a kind of person where it's like, if I watch too many that like hit me right in the feels, it's like, oh my God, I need a break from this or something like that. So we could have a week where we watch, I don't know, Hereditary, Midsummer, Babadook, stuff like that.
Love Midsummer.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, we need to stop. Let's watch like Shaun of the Dead. So that's like a palate cleanser for me. And then it's like, okay, we've had a little bit of a silly. Now we can go back into something like The Ritual that's got, you know, really heavy feels.
Love that.
Fucking love that movie. So it's nice to have those kind of little breaks in between, so you can go back to those gritty movies and appreciate the vibe of what they're really about, you know, without being like, oh my God, this is too much for me. I've checked out halfway through because my emotional meter's just gone.
Yeah. That's why I love the horror genre, because I think that's why it's the best genre, because it's so wide, and it encompasses comedy, it encompasses drama, it encompasses psychological. The horror genre for me is the best genre because it has every single aspect of film, life, and the world based inside of it.
And imagination as well. You can let your imagination run wild with horror, you know?
100%.
And there's just so much more creativity to it as well. Like when I was thinking about practical effects the other day, because I fucking love practical effects, and I was just trying to think of examples of like when practical effects would be used in other things, and you're like, well, maybe if it's a period piece and there's like soldiers and they've got injuries, but just that inherent creativity that you can have with horror of being like, right, okay, what disgusting fucked up stuff can we do? You can still do a period piece and you can still have that incredible costuming and sets and everything, but it's like, hey, we'll throw zombies in with that, so we've got that extra layer, and it's amazing to see all the different things, and like saying about the different allegories and different things. You can watch a movie and just enjoy it as a fun zombie movie, or you can watch it and be like, wow, this is an incredible commentary on this thing, and everyone can read. And I don't feel like when I watch comedy movies or drama movies, which I don't do very much anymore, I'm very much focused on horror, I don't feel like you have so many reads into those sort of things. So I think that's probably why it's so enduring as a genre, and like why we all get so obsessed with it and just connect with these movies so much, because I think there's just so much more heart, and you feel that community in horror than you do in other genres. Like, also, I'm glad we're all having a nice time.
Also, what other events do you see horror cons, and they're very, very popular and very successful? You don't see rom-com convention, or you don't even really see action conventions, which is surprising.
You have sci-fi because there's fucking millions of nerds.
Then that kind of goes hand in hand with. I mean, you can sort of lumber that in with the horror genre too. If you see films like Predator and Aliens and stuff like that, they kind of go hand in hand. But like horror, is very popular conventions, but you don't see conventions for any other genre. I don't think. I'm probably wrong, but
you do get action conventions, but they're not as big as horror.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
They're not as big.
Interesting.
But going back to the start,
do you have a favourite horror?
So
the Barbie movie. He loves the Barbie movie.
I love the Barbie movie.
That's
you
a
know
proper
what?
horror.
I've still not watched it yet. I don't know how. I've got two girls, and somehow I've still managed to not watch it yet. But no, like growing up, the thing that got me into horror, and I was only little, I'd have been like 3, 4, was the first Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oof.
Like, I watched that, and the bit where Johnny Depp gets sucked into the bed and all the blood comes pouring out. Like, as a kid, I was obsessed with that. Used to, like, it's one of the things my mum tells me all the time. Like, any time we start talking about the scare mode stuff, she was like, oh, I used to love it when you were little and that bit. because I'd stand at this TV going, "It's tomato sauce! It's tomato sauce!" As it's just like absolutely pouring out the bed. And weirdly, which is really annoying, but I'm no good with people. I only found out that was Johnny Depp like last year, and I've been obsessed with the film since I was 3. And literally last year, found out it was Johnny Depp. But yeah, that was one of my favourites. And then as far as more modern stuff goes, the Terrifier movies, because when I was watching them, I got very Nightmare on Elm Street vibes about them. The character doesn't quite take itself seriously, but it's still scary. That noise is back again.
Yeah,
It's cadaverous.
Cadaverous!
The
have a try
ghost
then.
is in the machine.
I'm gonna message Cadaverous. What are you doing? What are you doing? Sort yourself out.
There you
There
go.
we go. It's gone now.
Dying.
Cadaverous has left.
But yeah, where was I? Oh yeah, like the new the Terrifier movies, they gave me really Nightmare on Elm Street feels because the character doesn't take itself overly seriously, but is still ready to literally tear people apart. You do have that comedy element mixed in, and the practical effects in it are unbelievable. Like in the first one, when he stamps on the cleaner security guard guy's head, I watched that scene like 100 times trying to see the swap from the real person to like the prosthetic head, and I'm just going, he's definitely stamping that guy's head in for real. This has got to be a stuff movie. It's so unbelievably well done. Like there's no, you normally see in even high budget stuff, you go, oh, that's clearly been swapped out now for a dummy. Like the hair's not right, something's not right in it. But in that, I was watching it and I've just rewound it, watched it again, rewound it, watched it again, and it just the transitions was completely seamless.
Have you seen the short? Have you seen the Terrifier short? The thing that came first before the film? Yeah. That was brilliant. Very grindhouse.
Yeah, we sat and watched them all. It took me 3 attempts to watch the third one though, because every time we tried to watch a third one was after a 12-hour shift, and I was dying, and I kept getting like just after the Santa Claus bit.
I'm looking forward to
them. Was like, I was getting so angry with myself trying to watch it.
I think the fourth one's going to be really good because they're kind of going back. I don't know if you've seen All Hallows Eve. I think is it the Ninth Circle of Hell or the Ninth one, something like that. But I think they're kind of going into those sort of characters, so they're probably going to descend into hell. That's the bit I'm looking forward to seeing. The bit that's kind of not in the real world, the bit that's otherworldly. Because I know that he's going to do that really well, Damien Leone. He's got a bit of twisted imagination.
The only thing with the progression of that franchise for me is the inclusion of more story I actually dislike. I like people complain about the first movie because there's no plot, nothing happens. It's just a fucking creepy, adorable little clown. I love him, and he's just killing people and he's having a nice time, and it's so wholesome. He's just cutting ladies in half. He's making jack-o'-lanterns out of heads and things. He's just having a nice time, and I enjoy that. And then the second one, this story all of a sudden, you're like, whoa. And
That's what Laura said.
And then the third one is even more. And I do enjoy where the story's going, and I'm really vibing with like the biblical aspect that they seem to be like leading into. There was so much religious imagery in the third one. So yeah, like if they go down into hell, the whole ninth circle thing, like that'd be really interesting. But I'm just hoping they don't do too much story. And I know that makes me that character from League of Gentlemen when they go, how many killings? And then they go, sin, sin, sin. Like, I'm basically that guy. Yeah, I've got the fringe, I've got the little black hair. Like I'm exactly like Rishia Smith's character in that. But yeah, I just want more killings, more gore, and less story. It's boring. I didn't enjoy the third one anywhere near as much as the others because I had to pay attention.
It's hard to get right, I think. I think it's hard to get right, I think to if you want to stretch it out into a franchise, you have to throw a story in there. Although like if you look at the Elm Street franchise, like they almost kind of feel all like separate stories. even though they're all based around the same character, Freddy, but they're all different little adventures. What I love about them.
But I think
Whereas
the
a
plot in them is
Terrifier,
very thin.
I don't care about a lot of the characters in Terrifier. Like, I don't care about the kid. I don't care about the fucking daughter. I don't care about the mum. Like, I don't give a shit about any of them. I just want to see Art chop their head off. Don't know what that says about me. But I'm not into the drama.
I have
I
a
love the
tattoo of
kills.
Art the Clown. Like, I'm fully into, like, unhinged clowns. Like, mentioning, like, Reece Shearsmith earlier. I have Reece Shearsmith as Mr. Jelly tattooed on my leg.
Oh, yeah.
I've just got a whole selection of, like, evil, bad clowns. And people are like, what is wrong with you? And I'm like, so many things. But yeah, I just like Art when he's being a cute little guy. I just like him doing a little murder, stealing people's eyeballs, TTTing at, like, everything. He's just delightful. So yeah, I'm hoping he felt more evil in the third one, and I didn't like that. He was less whimsical, and I know whimsical is such a fucking weird word to use for Art the Clown, but I think he's whimsical, and he just felt very much less whimsical. And we've gone off on a little tangent now talking about Terrifier, but it's fine, it's fine. Dean, do you have a favourite movie?
Barbie movie. No, I know you've seen it.
I love the Barbie movie. I don't know why you're dissing on it. It's excellent. I love it.
Feminism.
I'm sure I would love it. I'm sure I would.
I cried in the cinema at that film. It's so good.
Same as Kemal. It's so, like what Kemal was saying. It's really difficult to pin down like your favorite for everyone. I've got a selection of favorite ones. If I had to pick one, I'd go with what Nave said. Nightmare on Elm Street. That was my entry into horror as a kid. I was obsessed with Freddy Krueger. So much so I used to go on about it so much that my mum, I was always badgering her to watch the videos. She'd never let me, and then she woke up one morning. She'd had a dream that she was tied to a chair and Freddy Krueger was there. When she woke up, she had a big slice down her side. No shit. No shit. It must have been a bed spring. It was obviously a bed spring, but she was just like, "What's going on?" Because that's how much I used to go on and on about Freddy Krueger. She obviously had a dream about it. It was in her subconscious. But yeah, I had a Freddy club at school. In primary school, we had the Freddy Krueger club. My stepdad worked in a video shop, so I was just would gravitate towards those VHS
brilliant.
covers. But yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street. I love the whole I love the character. I love Robert Englund. I love just how each part of the it's just so ahead of his time. That first film, it's nuts. It's super creepy. It's just brilliant. I just love it. I love I love everything about Nightmare on Elm Street. All of them. But House of a Thousand Corpses is up there. I love that film. That's a comfort movie for me. Again, I don't know what that says about me.
No, it's
I can
mine too.
I can put that film on and drift off to sleep peacefully, listening to people getting fucking tortured. Oh God, there's so many. There's so many. They're ones that really stand out. But in modern day, I'm a big fan of Ari Aster's work. I think he's great. I love Midsummer. That was such a good, visually stunning film. Love Florence Pugh in that. It's just such a good film. Like I really want to, even though the Go to Hell short has definitely got more of the comedy aspect. Like I really want to, I'm just trying to sort of do these wacky things to see what works and what doesn't fit, but when it comes around to the feature, I definitely want to make it dark and creepy, and I've got all these different ideas that are, I don't want it to be so cheeky and not corny, but do you know what I mean? I want it to be more like a movie, like if you were going to go and watch a proper movie. Not that Go to Hell isn't, but it's definitely got all these little quirks in. But anyway, yeah, I'd say Nightmare on Elm Street would probably be my number one if I had to pick one. But there's so many.
Too many.
No, I've got to do the evil thing now. Does anybody actually like the Elm Street remake? No, it's shit.
It's entertaining. I mean,
I haven't even watched it.
I could put it on. I could put it on in the background, and I could every now and again look at the screen and go, "Oh, this is an interesting whatever scene." I don't know, but I mean, it definitely doesn't stand up. I mean, I don't know what the fuck they were trying to go for with the look of him with the CG. That's I think one of the biggest things. It kind of almost destroyed what's his name, Jackie O. Haley or something. I think he destroyed his career, right? Pretty much, because he's a really good actor. But all the CGI stuff, you just can't fuck with that sort of thing. You know, the Kruger
doesn't
look.
work.
You just can't mess around with that shit. It's whoever thought to remake that's brave. I mean, I was really I did go and see it at the cinema because I was like, what are they going to do to make this? You know, what are they going to do with it? And yeah, I was disappointed, but I mean, as if it were a standalone movie, I think it would be entertaining if you take away the whole Freddy lore and stuff, you know. But
They had such an opportunity and they just flubbed it completely.
oh,
It could have been amazing.
that's right.
I think that's the same with a lot of remakes, though.
Oh god,
That's
the
like
Hellraiser one is shit. I don't know if you've seen that.
the only
Fucking
really
terrible.
decent remakes, the It one,
Oh, I
and
love
even
it.
that doesn't.
No,
It doesn't really hold a candle to the original, though.
That was
no,
good.
I know it was a
I'm
TV movie,
on the other
but-
team. I'm on the machete. The machete versions are excellent. I have that version of Pennywise tattooed on my leg. The
problem was,
TV
for me
series is
with
great,
them-
but no film.
I prefer the TV series.
Pennywise
But
already looked like a creepy clown before he turned into a creepy clown. Like, the point was, he's meant to be a clown that kids want to go up to. Whereas if you saw him, you'd instantly go, "Yeah, he's doing that. He's clearly an evil clown."
do you know
Whereas with the originals, he went from generic clown to this evil creature.
one of the things that makes that original super scary is the score as well. If you listen to that score, listen to the soundtrack, it's so it taps into all those little like child fears of like creepy clowns. The score is definitely a massive part of that original It. Another film real quick that actually was and I never mentioned it, was a big inspiration for Go to Hell, was Labyrinth. Because, you know, I love that whole world building, you know, like that, just all these, I know, don't get me wrong, what we did is no Henson workshop, but you can see the little nods to all these weird characters that this
That you meet
Gary's
along
character
the way, yeah, absolutely.
meets on his journey. And that was a film I was fascinated with as a kid as well, Labyrinth, you know, and there was little tiny horror elements in there, you know, with those characters that have, their heads come off and they're trying to put his head off, and
They scared
you know,
the shit out of me.
and
Oh
it's-
my god.
yeah, oh yeah, it's a real gateway into horror as a kid, you know, that it was an incredible film. And oh my god, and David Bowie with his
You
massive
just love
schlong.
this bulge, yeah.
Yeah, but that's, you know, I've always said, and I don't know if they are doing a remake of that, but oh my god, whoever does that,
Just don't touch it.
oh my lord, you just can't touch films like that. They're just leave them alone. They're perfect as they are. Although I
It's
would go and
things
see a
with
remake just to
practical-
see one.
It's
They're
things
probably-
with practical effects where they're going to try and make them CGI. That's what ruins them. I
They're
think
probably-
you could go and make Labyrinth and you could make it phenomenal, but you've got to do all the practical effects.
They'd probably
Like,
cast
they
fucking
literally
Chris
built-
Martin as David Bowie's role or something, wouldn't they? They'd have like Chris Martin or fucking, I don't know.
Probably Chris
Jay-Z
Pratt,
or
he's
something.
fucking everybody.
Don't. I think one thing that really bothers me about that is because one of my job roles at work is a puppeteer. And
I love puppets.
I'll
see me,
honestly,
I'm
if
like,
we do
yes.
this again, I can show you. But one of the shows that I do is a kind of side piece from Sesame Street. Can't go too much into it because
Is
Anyway.
it Barry's Little Wormy?
shut up, we're not talking about that right now. And one thing that really bothers me about remakes is it puts people out of jobs. So particularly when they had the Dark Crystal TV series, they had applications for a lot of puppeteers who have... I've been doing puppeteering for nearly 9 years now, honing my craft. I can literally make that puppet breathe. If you're using CGI as opposed to a live puppet prop, you're putting that person out of work who's worked so hard on that craft, who can bring that creature to life so perfectly and give more of a vibe rather than shitty CGI. And I've got so much to say about it. It really, really riles me up.
I just want to very quickly mention another director who really inspires me is Peter Jackson, especially his early stuff as well. I think, you know, just the whole zany, wacky, and you can see films like Bad Taste was a complete labour of love, you know, and there's tons of humour in there, and he managed to really get the gore in there. So that's definitely another thing that I want to explore is, you know, that kind of humour, that kind of vibe with that kind of gore as well.
We've had such a
Time flies
winter.
when
good. We've been
you're
having a good
nice
time.
We have.
Time flies
Just
when you're having
Thank you so
fun.
much for all coming on. It's been lovely.
Sam, honestly, thank you for taking the time to watch
Thank
it,
you.
and for you to taking the time out to have us on to chat about it and show an interest in it. Honestly, it's what it's all about. That's why I wanted to reach out to people like yourself, like influencers, because you guys are the people we're making the films for. So no, thank you as well.
Like, I don't think of myself as an influencer. Like, it makes me feel so
You
imposter
influenced
syndrome.
me
It's weird.
so many ways.
Aw. But yeah, it's weird. It feels weird. But even though I don't have like a massive platform or anything, like, if I can support an indie production just by giving a couple of hours of my time or half an hour of my time to watch it and then write a review and just share things, like, that is all I want to do with social media. I like finding things that I love and going, I hope you love these too. Please watch this movie and tell me
I
you
love
love
that.
it. And that's just all I want to do. I just want to share things that I love.
It's because you're part of the family.
Yeah, and that's what I love about being part of the horror community, is like, everyone for the most part is just really, really nice, and all I want to do is talk to people who are as enthusiastic about horror as I am, enthusiastic about filmmaking and indie filmmaking. It's not something I do myself, but I love learning about it. I love special features, I love documentaries, like, I love all that stuff. So it's just really lovely to talk to people who do that kind of stuff day in, day out, and live and breathe it, and it's just really lovely. And I really can't wait to see Go to Hell in Rilla Thriller, because I think it's the kind of movie that will do so well in a festival environment when everyone's there to have a good time. And sometimes, like, I go to Fright Fest most years, and sometimes you'll watch the bleakest fucking film ever, and you just go, fucking hell. And then the next thing you see is such a completely different tonal change, and you're pissing yourself laughing. Like last year, I saw a film about a shit monster coming out of toilets, and it was hilarious, and it was one of the best films I saw. It's called Scared Shitless, but I don't think it's had a release over here, but it's fucking great. And
I've got an old film here called... sorry, just real quick to chime in. I've got a film here called Mons Turd, like monster, but Mons Turd, and it's a monster coming out. It's an old one. Sorry, carry on.
No, it's fine. But there's just an example of like the changing of tone, and sometimes you, like you said, Lou, like sometimes you need that like funny little movie to lighten things up. And, like in a Monster, I gotta watch it. I feel like it'll go down so well with a festival audience. And the nice thing with Rilla Thriller as well is people are there because they want to support. I know we've got big Fulci movies this year, but like last year we had Neil Marshall and The Descent and Dog Soldiers. That was great, but like the bit I enjoyed the most was watching all the indie shorts, the indie movies. And that's what people are there for. They're there to see up-and-coming filmmakers and to support those filmmakers, and everyone was so respectful and enthusiastic when there were Q&As and panels and stuff. So like if you get to do a Q&A, Dean, like they'll fucking love you. And it's just nice being in that kind of
They'll be like, someone shut this guy up.
They'll get the
I'm
crock
showing
and
them
like...
my monster.
Oh, yes, I will watch that, yes.
Oh my god.
I'll watch anything.
I've got it on DVD.
Amazing. But yeah, they'll be getting the crook and pulling you off stage at Rilla Thriller. But like, I know it will go down so well because it's fun, and I know the audience will appreciate it. And it's one of those things you can watch in your living room by yourself and have a fun time. I had a fun time. But like, I know it's gonna like absolutely slap with a crowd, and everyone's gonna laugh together, and everyone's gonna like appreciate the vibe and what's going on.
Oh man!
And I'll be your audience. So I'm excited for you. I'm so excited for you.
I'll be so nervous. I'll be sitting at the back, and I'll be like, just in case it's all going down like a bowl of sick, I'll just have to run out the back door.
But it's fine. I'll be there. You could be like Sam, and then I can pull this whole chat up on my little phone, and I'll be like, there you go, Dean, and I'll pat you on the head, and I'll give you a little kiss on the forehead. Yeah, a little kiss on the forehead, a little snack, and you'll be fine.
I hope they do get you up for a Q&A.
You're coming as like.
Because I'm going to come in, I'm going to be like, why didn't you let Nathan throw himself down your stairs?
You're coming as well, man. I'm not going out on my own. Screw that.
It's a different venue this year, but if it was the stairs at last year's venue, you wouldn't want to throw yourself down them stairs. They were scary.
This was at Dean's house. I spent weeks trying to convince
I knew
him
he'd
to
get
let
this
me throw
story
myself down the stairs.
Go on, quick, tell the story.
So-
Tell the story, quick.
So obviously in the movie, he gets pushed down the stairs, and I was like,
You
"Let's
hear
just
it, you
do
don't
it."
see it.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, "We need to see this. Let me dress up as Gary, and I'll throw myself down your stairs." And I was trying so hard to convince him to let me to do it, but Dean took the high road and was like, "No, you're not doing that." But if he'd have let me do it, I would 100% have done it.
Basically, at the beginning with the film, when you hear him being pushed down the stairs, Nathan was like, "Why don't we just film it? And I'll actually throw myself down the stairs so you can get the action of someone." I was like, "No, Nathan, you'll hurt yourself." He's like, "No, you're not." I was like, no, man.
I'm a professional wrestler. I know
My
how to fall
public
down.
liability. You haven't seen my stairs, dude. They're tiny. My public liability won't cover that.
And sometimes
And there's
what
a
you
bend
don't
at the
see
end
is
as
more
well.
powerful, isn't it?
Yeah. But no, honestly, Sam, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And yeah, I'm hoping it does do well at festivals. I'm hoping we get selected to some more festivals, and it's definitely like the start of our journey. Really, the team's perfect. Everyone's great. I love everybody who we work with. Kemal's fantastic. Everyone is. Lou, Gary, just and even though I don't want to do a Rob Zombie and recast the same people all the time, because I think it's good to bring in new faces. But you obviously
Flanagan
will
does
always.
it works.
Well, I'm always going to use the guys that I've used already just because they're all so lovely and I love spending time with them and they're all great. And there'll always be roles there. There'll always be things where we'll fit them in to make sure that we can bring everybody back together. But yeah, there's so many ideas, and it all starts with the cannibal promo, and then I definitely want to get the next short underway, and I'm itching to get into the feature and beyond. And by that point, I don't know, maybe we'll be able to get some funding. Who knows where the journey's going to lead us, but I know it's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, and as I said to you before, if you ever need a chubby tattooed girl to get horrendously murdered in something, I'm your gal.
Oh, you're not chubby.
I am chubby. It's fine. I am chubby.
You're not chubby,
it's
Sam.
okay.
You're lovely.
But thank you. But yeah, that's one of my life goals. So whenever I meet anyone who makes films, I'm like, kill me in a film, or just kill me in real life and film it. I'll be fine. But no, thank you, everybody. It's just been so lush talking to you all, and I know we said we'd not go this long, and we have. But I've had a nice time, so I haven't wanted to wrap things up quicker. But
no, it's the same. It's been great.
I'll pop links for everyone's socials in the show notes, so I'll be in touch with everybody and make sure we capture everything. But yeah, go, if you don't already follow all of these guys, go follow them, see what they're doing. They're all doing really cool things, outside of working with Dean, and like Dean's selling like this stuff. Ugh, so I have to have some just in case. But yeah, go see what everyone's doing. Follow Dean so that you can keep tabs on what festivals because it's going to be at more festivals, obviously. Find out where it's going to be, future release information, and just see what everyone's doing, because the whole point of the horror community is to support each other, and no one should be in competition with each other. We should all be like supporting and lifting each other up and stuff. I know that's really like lame, but go give everyone a follow, see what they're doing. Everyone's doing really cool stuff, and yeah, it's just been great talking to you. I've had a bloody lovely time.
Thank you. And also, the next time you check in with us, it's quite possible Nathan may have thrown himself down the stairs at that point. We may capture it.
He's desperate. He's fucking
We're gonna
desperate
label
to
it.
do it.
We're gonna label it Stairgate. Stairgate.
Stargate, incredible.
That's just your next short. It's just me continuously falling downstairs for 20 minutes.
With people throwing buckets of gore on you. That sounds excellent. I
Stairgate.
do
Right,
that.
It's called Stairgate, not Stargate. Stairgate.
Jesus.
And it's going to be about a haunted stairgate at the bottom of the stairs that I don't know.
We've
I'm
had
thinking.
night
I'm going
swim.
to try.
It's not even that crazy a suggestion at this point, is it? After a haunted swimming pool, so there's haunted everything out there. Possessed floor lamp in Amityville 4. There's all sorts.
Killer sofa. Killer pinata.
Killer jeans.
Killer tire. Rubber.
Slacks is excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Killer fridge. I'm sure there's a fridge one.
Yeah, everything. Right, let's go,
Stairgate.
everybody. Otherwise, we'll talk about killer things in films. But again, thank you so much, everybody. It's been lush talking to you all. Enjoy your next one, and I'll speak to you all soon.
Thank you, Sam.
Thank you. Bye.
See you, Sam. Thanks for having us. Bye-bye.
No worries. Thank you.
Where's the button?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know where the button is either.
I'm stuck here now.
Hello. Hope you enjoyed that episode. I had so much fun talking to everybody, and I absolutely would have stayed on and chatted to them all night. We were just vibing. We were having a good time. But Dean had to go off and do another interview, so we had to wrap up. And we'd already gone over what we were supposed to, but as it's me, I can yap for Britain. Dean can also clearly yap for Britain. So between us, we would have had a conversation going on all evening. But hope you enjoyed it. So keep an eye out for Go to Hell at a film festival, hopefully near you. If you don't already, go give everyone involved in the production a follow. Go support indie filmmakers. Like I say in the episode, like, if there's anything I can do to try and help support indie filmmakers, I will. I struggle doing anything. I'd love to work in film. I don't know where I would live in the film universe. I'd love to be a script supervisor, I think. That'd be really fun. Anyway, my way of scratching that itch is to support indie filmmakers, especially indie horror filmmakers, as much as I can, whether that's talking about their short or their movie on the podcast, or sharing something on my stories on Instagram, posting a TikTok about it. It makes me happy to help share the hard work that people put in, because I couldn't do it. I really couldn't do it. So go follow people. Like, the easiest thing you can do to support indie filmmakers, content creators, small businesses, you know, all these people that you always see on your feed sharing stuff, just give them a like, give them a comment, save it. It takes seconds to do, but that makes such a difference. So all the links for the people I chatted with are down below in the episode description. Give them a follow, go check them out. They're all really cool, talented people. And you can keep an eye out then for when you get to see Go to Hell and the exciting project that Dean talked about in the episode, his collaboration with Cannibal Corpse, which is insane. Absolutely insane. So yeah, give everyone a follow, see what they're all doing. Give me a follow as well. I always really appreciate when people drop a little message and say hello or give me some feedback. I'm always keen to talk to other little horror nerds and gremlins like me. So yeah, all the links are below. Thank you for listening. Again, this is weird because I can see myself as I'm recording this, but thank you so much for listening. Really appreciate you. Big love. Bye.